hurry, he says. I'm carrying the heavy end of this load. Or don't you realize that, Mr. Alexander Graham Bell?
Stop complaining or I'll fire you.
Good, I wish you would. Ow!
Oh, now you did it. She heard that.
Professor Bell! Mr. Watson!
Shh, not a sound.
Not a sound, he says.
I hear you sneaking into my rooming house.
Be quiet.
Well, get off my foot.
Oh, sorry, old boy.
You two young men are 3 months behind on your rent, and I won't wait another day for it, do you hear? Not another day. I want my money. Either I get it tomorrow morning, or you and your experiments and all your wires and magnets and paraphernalia and scientific clutter will have to go.
Oh, it looks as if we'll have to run for it. Come along.
Do you hear me? I know you're up there.
One more flight, lads. Up we go. Hurry.
Oh, she's coming.
3 more steps. We've got to get safely into the room before...
Hurry!
Hurry.
You 2 men are out there. Come on back now. I see you. What about your rent?
Now, I've got the door open. Now, come on, quick, inside. Phew. Oh, we made it.
Oh, they slipped past me again. Well, tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock, I'll be sitting at the foot of this staircase, and they'll either pay me the rent when they come down, or they won't get down. Inventors and scientists, they call themselves. We're constructing something that'll revolutionize the world. A telephone, they tell me. And I'm supposed to wait for my rent until they get done. Scientists and inventors. Inventors or no, they must pay me that back rent tomorrow, even if they have to invent money.
Alexander Graham Bell, a young Scotsman who had gone to Canada for his health and then to Boston, was a teacher of speech. His great goal was to aid deaf mutes. In 1873, while trying to invent a sound transcriber, or visible speech machine to help them, he got the idea that he could invent a strange, magical new instrument, an invention that he pictured quite clearly in his mind, the telephone. His friends, 2 wealthy Bostonians, Thomas Sanders and Gardner Hubbard, who backed him at first, decided the new idea was too radical, too absurd, and so they cut off his funds. Worse yet, young Alec fell in love with Gardner Hubbard's beautiful daughter, Mabel. But Mr. Hubbard, believing Bell would never succeed as an inventor, refused to hear of their engagement until Alec proved he could take care of her. Of course, Alec couldn't. He was penniless. His experiments to produce the telephone, now aided by a 19-year-old American boy, Tom Watson, had destroyed all his savings. The 2 young fellows were so poor they couldn't pay their rent. For an entire year, their experiments got nowhere.
Tom, old chap.
Yes, Alec.
I've been thinking.
Yeah, about the rent. Huh? So have I. It'd help a bit if those rich old friends of yours, Mr. Sanders and Mr. Hubbard, started to like you again.
Oh, fat chance. I was just thinking.
If I could just get this current flowing properly through the wires, change the magnetic field...
That's what I mean. But no, not like that. Now, here.
Oh, good grief. Now, what did you do that for? I almost had it. I can't function if you keep annoying me.
No, don't lose your temper, Tom. It's not cricket. And it's also bad for the digestion.
What digestion? These experiments and the equipment cost so much, we're down to 1 meal a day. I'm weak with hunger, all the time. Digestion, he says.
Seems to me, as you were saying there, if we could succeed in creating a continuous instead of a broken electric current in those wires...
What?
I mean, if we could only take a chunk of magnetized steel, vibrate it in front of the pole of an electromagnet, we might get a continuous current.
Yeah, that's true.
And with a continuous current, Mr. Watson, why, then we could make sound travel along that wire. Musical sound, spoken sound, speech itself. Why, that might do it.
Yeah.
Here, now let me sketch it for you. It might work like this.
Yeah?
And if it did...
I think we're onto something, Alec. I believe you are. Oh, what a magnificent idea!
It's rather like the human ear, you know. We're always safe when we imitate nature. Nature's wonderful. If God constructed the ear in human beings and animals to receive and understand sounds, why can't we do the same?
The continuous electric current will solve the problem.
Right. We'll transmit sound in unbroken waves. Now build me a box, Tom. A box just like the human ear. Now, I'll describe to you the ear's mechanism, as Father and Grandfather taught me. And you build a box like it. In fact, I'll get you an ear. A real human ear.
And so was hatched the Dead Man's Ear plot. One still moonlit night.
Come in. Come in, Dr. Blake. This is my assistant, Tom Watson. Tom, my friend, Dr. Clarence Blake, surgeon at the Massachusetts Eye and Ear Infirmary. How good of you, Doctor.
How do you do? I'm sure you young men know the grave risks a doctor, a member of the medical profession such as myself, takes in a matter like this. The public is against all experimentations of this sort.
Yes, but you did bring it. You did bring the ear, didn't you?
Yes, the whole ear, the whole inner structure. My late patient was a generous man. He won't be needing this ear again for a long time, and as his widow has already found another harassed ear she can talk into, I took the extreme liberty of relieving his cadaver of this.
Ah, good, splendid.
Please, place the container here on the table, Doctor.
Now, mind you, not a word of this to anyone. If the matter gets abroad, I could lose my practice. I'd be driven out of town on a rail.
Hey, we'd ride with you, Doctor, as far as Salem.
Mr. Watson, I don't find that suggestion amusing, not in the least.
My apologies, sir.
Now, Alec, tell me again about this new instrument you hope to invent. What have you determined to call it?
The telephone, Doctor. Telephone.
Ah.
It'll be an invention for conveying speech over long distances by actually converting human speech, sound, into electric impulses sent through a wire.
Oh, amazing.
Tom Watson here is the mechanical genius who's going to help me do it. You see, Doctor, the telephone will consist of a transmitter.
Yes.
This here.
Yeah.
And a receiver here. Now, the receiver's the problem. And your departed patient, may he rest in peace, will, by his generous donation, help Tom, and me as well, better to learn the human ear's construction, so that Tom can make a mechanical receiver imitating it. Now, here are the diagrams.
How strange. And how wonderful. Oh, if only you succeed.
Working with a dead man's ear, month after month after month. Alec with aching brain, Tom with sore and weary fingers, but they would not give up. Far into each night they toiled, and every morning poor, desperate young Tom arose dead tired to go to his $18-a-week mechanic's job, the only thing that provided them with a little money to buy supplies and food. Sometimes they were able to buy new equipment and sneak it into the rooming house late at night.
Hurry! Oh, hurry, he says. I'm carrying the heavy end of this load. Oh!
Ha-ha! This time I've caught them. They've been avoiding me all week, but this time I've got them. And I'll stand for none of Tom Watson's blarney. Last week I let him out-talk me. His smile was that lopsided grin of his, Tom Watson does, and he wrings my heart with his likeness to my poor dead sweetheart, Shauna Riley. May he rest in peace. But they've got to stop. Smiling doesn't put butter and eggs on my boarding house table, and I need that rent. Stop! Tom Watson, Professor Bell, I hear you on the back stairway. You're 3 months behind on your rent as of last Tuesday, and I must have it.
Hurry! Oh, I can't. Open the door, quick. I can't. It's stuck.
Aha!
Uh-oh.
Turn around, Tom, and smile. Smile that lopsided grin of yours. We need one more week.
Agatha, they did it again. They outfoxed me, and that sly Tom Watson offered me a fistful of Confederate money not worth a cent, and they looked so innocent. What could I do?
2 years of toil and sacrifice, months of charming the landlady with promises, hundreds of pounds of equipment, and a dead man's ear.
We'll pay every cent, Mrs. Murphy, every cent.
Promises, promises, always promises.
But
Letters written home to his parents.
March the 18th, 1875. My dearest mother and father, I am now beginning to realize the cares and anxieties of being an inventor. Flesh and blood could not stand much longer such a strain as I have had upon me. Oh, Melville.
Now, my dear, don't worry. He has begun this thing, and he must see it through. If he didn't, he would not be his father's son, or my father's grandson. Bless him. Go on, read the letter.
Both Tom Watson and I are worn to frazzles, but we won't quit. We won't. Other scientists call me a stubborn and a reckless fool. I don't care. For I think that the transmission of the human voice is the most important thing.
I know I said it months ago in my last letter dated March 18th. And here it is already June 2nd, 1875. But I still believe that the transmission of the human voice is much more nearly at hand than I had supposed. It's quiet tonight. Tom and I, needing more room for a particular experiment, have prevailed upon his employer, Charles Williams, to let us use Mr. Williams' mechanical shop tonight. Tom is in the next room, 60 feet away. I'm seated here at a desk with a gadget I call a receiver near my ear. When Tom is through with his wiring and is ready... What's that? A twanging sound coming from the receiver. Oh, my soul and body, it's coming from the receiver. Watson? Tom Watson, come here.
Oh, yes, Alec, what's wrong? You're white as a sheet.
What were you doing?
Huh?
Quick, tell me, what were you doing?
Well, nothing. I was just plunking the transmitting spring,
I
that's
heard it,
all.
Tom.
You what?
I heard it. You plugged the transmitting spring in there 60 feet away, and I heard
You
it.
did what?
I heard you. We've done it. We've succeeded.
What a scene it was, laughing and crying and yelling and shouting and hugging each other. They had done it. When nobody else thought they could, they stuck to it and pulled off, with God's help, a miracle. That night, June 2nd, 1875, in the Charles Williams machine shop, in a jumble of equipment, wires, batteries, magnets, tuning forks, and strange-looking mechanical devices, the telephone with a tiny twang was born.
We did it.
It was nearly a year later, on March 10, 1876, that the tiny twang was perfected into actual speech. In the house at 109 Court Street, Boston, Alec Bell, in a room 3 floors up, spoke into his mouthpiece the words, "Watson, come here, I want you." And down in the basement, deep down, Tom Watson, listening in his receiver, heard the first 6 words ever spoken into the telephone.
Watson, come here, I want you.
I heard you clearly. You said, Watson, come here, I want you.
Yes, pay off Mrs. Murphy.
We'll eat. Oh, am I going to eat?
Success at last, but I'm sorry to say, cruel heartbreak followed. For despite the publicity in important newspapers everywhere, no large manufacturing company was interested, at least not for serious commercial purposes. As an oddity? Perhaps yes, if his price was right. It was only a toy, they said. And perhaps it was. For what good was an instrument that could carry the human voice only about 100 feet? Why, a boy with a set of husky lungs could do that well shouting. They would buy it as a toy. Alec, discouraged, was ready to quit.
You're going to sell it for what?
Yes, Tom.
Oh, Alec, you must be out of your mind. You've worked so hard. We've both worked so terribly hard. Listen, someday the telephone is going to be a great boon to mankind. It'll be worth millions of dollars, maybe even billions.
Tom,
Billions, Alec. It'll become one of the greatest scientific marvels ever invented.
Tom, I
and you
don't
propose to sell it for an incredibly paltry sum like that.
I can't
No.
help it, Tom.
It's chicken feed. That's what it is, Alec. Chicken feed.
Chicken feed. Chicken feed isn't half bad to chickens, especially when nobody's offering them anything better.
Oh.
Well, Tom, I'm a chicken who's tired of pecking around an empty barnyard alone. Tom, I'm in love.
Oh.
I want to get married.
Alec, if you just wait. Surely a little longer won't hurt.
No, I'm in love now, and I want to get married now. I'm not like you, Tom Watson. I can't spend my whole life tinkering just for the sheer love of tinkering. The Bible says that it's not good that a man should be alone. And do you know what?
What?
I agree.
Oh, you do you?
Yes, I do. I'm going to throw this heartbreaker, the telephone, at the Great Central Union Telegraph Company for $100,000.
Oh.
And then proud, wealthy Mr. Gardner Hubbard will have to let this poor Scotsman marry his beautiful daughter.
I don't believe it.
Oh, my Mabel. Mabel, how I love you. We'll be married and we'll raise a dozen red-haired children and we'll live happily ever after.
Oh, you will you?
Yes, we will. And the reason we'll be happy, Tom Watson, is because under dire threat of cruel and inhuman punishments, beautiful, blessed Mabel will never, ever mention a certain abominable word in my presence.
And what word is that?
Telephone.
Oh.
Well, we admit, Mr. Bell, that the other directors of the company and I have a modicum of interest in your, toy.
Toy.
Oh, no offense, sir. Someday, perhaps it can become an extremely useful toy.
Mr. Witherspoon.
Now, keep your seat, young man. Now, as we mentioned before...
Stop beating around the bush, Witherspoon.
Oh, shush,
Tell him.
shush, Haskins. Now, will you let me handle this? As we mentioned before, Mr. Bell, our firm is willing to hear your price. What is it?
$100,000.
Oh, good. What? What did you say?
$100,000.
That's preposterous.
Outrageous. Show this young fool out.
$100,000 indeed.
And I heard the Scots were cheap. Well, if this is an example of the thrift, America can certainly do with fewer Scotsmen of Mr. Bell's type. $100,000? Well, he's a madman.
But can't you see it's priceless? Someday men will be able to talk with each other from New York to San Francisco, from New York to London to Paris. Gentlemen, please.
So, they laughed you out of their plush carpeted offices, did they?
Tom, they called it a toy.
Well, there's only one thing to do.
What?
It's back to work on the drawing board and in the lab for the young, stubborn team of Alexander Graham Bell and Tom Watson. They laughed at you, Alec, but we'll make them eat their laughter.
All spring, all summer, month after month after month. Agatha, I tell you, it's more than flesh and blood can stand. Just listen to them.
Well, why don't you throw them out?
I can't. They already owe me so many months back rent. If I throw them out, I'm afraid they'll just disappear, snatched up and stuffed in a bag, dearie, by some of their other creditors, and I'll never get my money. Besides, that Tom Watson is so cute, with grease all over his face, smiling that lopsided grin of his. Oh, so like me dead sweetheart, the love of me life, Sean O'Reilly, God rest him.
I came right away. Your note sounded most anxious. Is it something serious?
Yes, sit down, Thomas. Yes, it is serious. It's about Alec Bell.
Ah, yes. Alec. We owe him an apology, you know. We didn't have faith in him. At the very time he needed us most, we let him down. But he showed us. He succeeded without us.
Not quite, Tom.
What do you mean?
Alec is in for heartbreak. He's so good and pure and honest, he thinks everyone else is that way, too. But it isn't so.
True.
I've been begging him for his own protection to take out a patent on his invention. But he laughs, scoffs, doesn't see that it is necessary.
Why, of course it's necessary. He'll lose everything if he doesn't. And he must act quickly.
Tom Saunders, you and I failed Alec Bell before when he needed us. But he needs us again now, and I'm determined we'll not fail him.
Oh?
This morning, without consulting Alec, I've taken the liberty of filing an application with the U.S. Patent Office for a patent on Alec's new invention, the telephone, in Alec's name.
And what Gardner Hubbard did that morning was done none too soon. For a few hours later, that same day, the U.S. Patent Office received another claim from Elisha Gray, a brilliant inventor who had been experimenting along the same lines. He, too, had produced a telephone. Meanwhile, Alec and Tom worked on. They would prove that the telephone was more than a toy. In the summer of 1876, the telephone was exhibited at the famed Centennial Celebration in Philadelphia, commemorating the 100th birthday of the United States. It attracted the notice of the important English scientist, William Thomson, Lord Kelvin, and of Dom Pedro, Emperor of Brazil. But still no manufacturer paid serious attention to it. Back to the laboratory, on and on the two young men worked.
At last. Tomorrow's the day, the big day.
Hello? Hello? Boston to Cambridge. Can you hear me, Alec? Can you hear me?
Hello? Hello? I hear you, Tom. I hear you.
We've done it. We've done it! 2 miles. We've transmitted the human voice from Boston to Cambridge, a distance of 2 whole miles!
In the months that followed, the two young men successfully communicated over increasingly greater distances. From Boston to Salem, a distance of 16 miles, and then to New York, a distance of 200 miles.
Fletcher?
Yes, sir.
Read me again that article in the Morning Boston Post.
Which one, sir?
Which one? Why, the one about that young whippersnapper Alexander Bell and his new invention, of course.
Yes, sir. The telegraph was important, but the telephone promises to be the marvel of the century, if not all centuries. The application of this discovery promises to completely revolutionize the business of transmitting messages.
Indeed.
Professor Bell is constantly improving his miracle invention. He avers that the time is not far away when we all can sit comfortably here in our drawing rooms in Boston and chat pleasantly with friends in Europe.
Europe?
Europe, sir.
Pox on chatting pleasantly with friends. I need more money. Money from my investments abroad. And with this new invention, the telephone, I'll be able to transact business with my commercial partners in London and Paris daily. Why, I'll reap millions. Millions! Millions!
Witherspoon, have you heard?
Of course I have.
Don't just sit there with folded hands. Do something! Oh, this is terrible. To think we could have had that marvelous invention for a mere $100,000. And we let it go. We let it slip through our very fingers. Witherspoon!
Calm yourself, Haskins.
Calm yourself. Calm yourself, the man coolly says. Do you realize how much money now and in the future is at stake?
I do.
Then do something!
I already have done something. We'll doubtless be the first company in the world to market a commercially practical telephone. Our engineers are already at work manufacturing them.
But how? How? Patents!
Patents? Oh, perhaps, my dear Haskins, you have heard of an inventor named Elisha Gray.
The entire world now knew that the telephone was going to be worth millions. And its inventor? Alec had been first, narrowly. But though Elisha Gray was as honest as Alec, unscrupulous businessmen in the Central Union Telegraph Company and other firms tried to prove that Alec had stolen the idea from Elisha Gray and from scores of lesser inventors. In all, 600 lawsuits were filed against Alec Bell. But Alec won each of these lawsuits, and even the huge Central Union Telegraph Company was forced to come to terms with him. After Alec had paid the rent to his patient landlady, gotten enough to eat again, and seen to it that his loyal friend and assistant, Tom Watson, was on the road to becoming a wealthy and respected businessman, the happiest moment of his life occurred.
Oh, she's lovely, simply lovely. And that young Professor Bell, my, how handsome he is. They say he's the happiest man in all Boston today.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today in the sight of God to unite these two, Professor Alexander Graham Bell and Miss Mabel Hubbard, in holy matrimony.
He had won his lovely Mabel's hand in marriage. Honors came from every part of the globe. Honorary doctorates from Oxford, Harvard, and Heidelberg universities. In 1898, the world's 1 billionth telephone was installed, and by 1900, 1 million miles of telephone wires had been strung. By 1951, the 75th anniversary of its invention, people in the United States alone were using 50 million telephones to make 200 million calls a day. And today, the world is covered with these magical instruments we couldn't do without, telephones. All thanks to a speech teacher who wanted to help the deaf, and all his life continued to help them. Stubborn, gentle Alec, Alexander Graham Bell.